Let me start with Doctor because we stopped when he was speaking. How likely is it that AI-generated deepfakes could be used, to incite violence and manipulate, voter sentiment in Nigeria ahead of 2027? How likely are we to see this really happen?
I don't want to be a prophet, but I would be lying if I don't say I won't predict that it will happen. Not just because it's a Nigerian thing, but it has come to become a political means of trying to either deceive, convince, or I don't know what other word to use, but it's a global thing, right? So check election everywhere in the world. And like I said, they try to look at the existing issues within a country and try to cash in on them. I'll give you an instance where the last election, you will take a picture of, say, someone from a particular zone in the country or geopolitical zone and replace his voice with a different voice, right? Either looking at issues within that geopolitical zone and say that either he had said this or had said that. I mean, it's always like that. And then looking at the situation where we are in, we have terrorism in the northeast, we have banditry in the northwest, we have farmer-herder conflict in the north central, we have kidnapping all across the country, you have a secession agitation in the southeast, piracy and so on in the south-south. Gangs and gang groups in the southwest. So imagine that I'm contesting against any of these people, and I now say, okay, because he hasn't said this, I will say that he's in support of that. All we need to do is to get something that looks like his voice or our voice and mimic it and put his picture. It takes somebody who understands that this might not really be true to be able to say, wait a minute, I don't think this guy or this woman will say this. Can we do further investigation to be sure? It's going to happen. And most times, politicians are the ones who give credence to this, right? So like your question, you're saying, who are those who are going to perpetuate this or be in the forefront of this happening? It's going to come from our political class. They will use our foot soldiers. They will use the young people who understand most of these AI algorithms and so on, to use them to design all these things. And then before you know it, it's on WhatsApp, it's on Facebook, it's all everywhere. And the person is now finding difficult to defend his or herself that she never said that. So what they will catch in on are the issues around, the governance issues in the country, from insecurity, like I said, to religion issues. But definitely will it happen? Surely it will happen. But the question remains, how are we as a people, as part of our state building and nation building, to start working against this, knowing that it will happen? So I'm happy with the work Chiamaka is doing, in her NGO, But what support are they getting? Are we going to keep waiting for foreign donors to help us do our own work? Right? So most times for those in power, right, and those who are not in power, it doesn't mean much to them, right? All they want is to win election. So how they win election, free or fair, is a different kettle of fish. But as a people, do you win an election and you find it difficult to govern? So most times for me, it's not about winning the war, it's about winning the peace. So how do we start building a country where after an election, people are like, we shake hands and say, I lost because you were the better candidate.
All right.
Right? Not because I lost either because there's a technical glitch or because somebody came out and deceived voters against me. So these are some of the things that we need to look at as we march towards 2027.